Sigma.
Gotta get those levels right.
I'm a Sigma. I go out. I don't even.
Here we go.
Man, swear.
Oh, fuck, blew it. Ready?
Man, swear. I mean, man, swear.
This time. Third time lucky. Go.
Man, swear.
What?
Man,
Welcome to Two Fat Guys in a Shory.
It's actually Fu Man Swoo, mate. Let's start chiming in with new names already. Do you want to flesh that out for the listeners and viewers out there? What you've been talking?
Maybe, eh?
Well, you just fucking said it right from the get go.
I've been what's the fucking word? Corralling feedback in the background from some key listeners. I know that Joel Dixon's a big fan for it, particularly for the acronym Two Fags.
To FAGS.
Yeah,
That doesn't work.
Two Fat Guys and a Shory.
And
So you
Where's
take the
the
A
G?
out. You take the A.
where's the
Guys.
G? Oh, sorry, too fat.
FGS. Two. So just fat guys. Anyway,
Two FG is the famous West Coast drum and bass group.
I mean, look, we
Conglomerate.
used to have a really good group chat back in the day. Who was it between? It was me, you, and wasn't Wizzy, was it? No, Wizzy was never in a group chat.
What's he doesn't do social meds, mate?
Who was it though? And we called it Three Fat Guys in a Shory.
Yes.
So good.
I think it might have been just me, you, and was it NATO or was it Pakey?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've always wondered if we should rename ourselves to that because it just suits us so well. Just three fat guys in a shory.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm on the fence. I like Fu Man Swoo because it's a like when you change names, you have to what are the reasons why?
I don't know. I just love how it rolls off the tongue. And then, you get the pod, people call our podcast Fu Man Swoo, but then they call it Swoo, just for short, which I quite like.
Yeah.
Just on that, I had a little famous moment at Mitre 10 Ferry Mead this past weekend. I had this random dude he was like, oh, what's up? Like just like that, and I was like, oh, hey, and he went past me, and then he came back and he goes, "You're Hodgie, eh?" I was like, yeah.
What?
Yeah, I watch Fu Man Swoo sometimes, eh?
Oh, are you serious? That's
Never met him.
awesome.
I think you know him, bro. His name's Mark. He lives in Christchurch, but he's originally from Hokie. He's a boogieboarder. He used to hang out with Stephen Aitken and stuff like that.
Oh, I'm sure I'll know them. Yeah, I'm sure I'll know him. Mark.
Yeah, but yeah. Shout out to you, Mark. That was just a funny moment, eh? Like didn't know
cool.
him for a bar of soap. He comes up,
Hey.
but he gave me that like sort of. He knew who I was. Look, but I had no. And he goes, "Oh, you're hot, yeah. You do that podcast with Jole." I was like, "Oh, yeah."
Mate,
So-
you're famous now. Look at that.
FOMO,
Getting
eh?
fucking getting hit, getting like what's the word? You would like accosted, but in a nice way at a car park, was it?
It was inside the store. Imagine if I was like, "No, sorry, mate. I don't do signatures. Okay, fuck off. I'm with my children."
You're like, security, quick.
Yeah, I don't have time for this. Okay.
Sorry, mate. I don't talk to fans outside of work.
Yeah.
So what's been happening, mate? How's your life? It's been a few weeks again.
Is it?
Yeah,
Is it?
it's another 3 weeks.
Ugh.
Time
Is it?
flies though, doesn't it? Jesus.
Oh man. chronic fatigue, eh?
How fast does life get when you get older? It's nuts.
It's
isn't it?
fucking crazy, bro. Like I just remember everything was just so easy when you're in your early 20s.
Yeah.
Like you just had energy for days. You had all the time in the world to just pack everything in.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, oh, yeah, no, I probably won't drive there tonight. Oh, I've got work in the morning, but tired.
I just remember being in my 20s and it never felt like time was going fast, to be honest. Felt like you said, it felt like you had all the time in the world. It just felt like there was just so much, well, obviously more freedom when you're younger. And as you get older, you just gain commitments by the year, and it just starts to fill up that plate.
Yeah, it's hectic. Like it's especially hard, I think, like when you live in a place like Christchurch where the ways are shit.
Mm-hmm.
And as guys get older, they want to they got kids and work and stuff, and you got to make time for a little surf mission here and there. So like I've tried to make my routines a little bit so it allows for like little surf missions here and there. Because if I don't, you just get. I haven't surfed in like 3 months. Fuck, you know what I mean? Like it's just kooky, eh?
Yeah, I love traveling for waves. I like to go to Blaketown and Kororo. It's quite far away. And always make time for those big trips.
It gets you so frustrated.
I know it does. I'm winding you up.
He's so. Oh, that's too far, bro. It's a 20-minute drive. Yeah, it's too far.
Oh, I did hear a fisherman friend was telling me that he was down fishing a river mouth down south, not too far south. So that's just one little hint.
Down south,
yeah, let's just say south of Greymouth, in between Haast and Greymouth. That's what I'll say. And it's a spot that I checked on one of my very rare occasions where I get motivated to drive longer than 15 minutes. And I did it this year, actually, on a whim. Went down by myself, had a little check, and it wasn't working. But this guy, out of the blue, stopped me because I was just coming from Blako's and I had a surf. And he was like, oh, yeah, such and such river mouth was bloody, you surfies would have loved it. It was peeling and going like this for like 200 meters. And I was like, oh, that sounds awesome, bro. Fuck. I'll probably check it maybe another 5 years. See how we go. See how we go.
I'm going to rename. I've had Tin of Cocoa on here for a few months now. What can we rename it to? 2 fat guys? 1 fat guy. Yeah, 1 fat guy.
1 fat guy.
No, fat guy 1.
And I'll write this. The other fat guy. Fat guy 1 and the other fat guy. It's good. Accurate. So accurate. Let's do our standard health checks.
Yeah.
Now, let's go with mental health. Rate yourself out of 10 and have 1 word to describe your mental health.
I'll give it a 6.
Ooh. Yeah. Gulp.
For the reasons of the neighbors fucked me off last couple of weeks.
I said 1 word, so you could have just said neighbors.
Neighbors, yeah, really.
Just neighbors.
Well, can I go into context? Or
yes, of course you can. So just flag the 1 word.
Yeah, well, I've made the really brilliant decision of buying a house next door to Housing New Zealand Flats.
Hey, you should just live in combos like me, mate. That's what I'm dealing with on the fucking rig, son.
So yeah, I had a sleepless night on Saturday night because they were pissing up. But I had a chat with them on the Sunday, and they were quite apologetic. So it should be, but it did really fuck me off and throw me through a bit of a spin. I was like, I'll just spend all this money, to buy a nice house, and then
location.
Yeah. But you can't lock like I was talking about on the phone. You can't lock yourself down in one place, and if things don't work out, that's okay. I tell you what, mate, I have been missing the coast like fucking crazy, and I know a lot of the the coast expats, they'll be feeling that same way. Fuck, man. Like, when I, because I love still being in the group chat with the boys over there.
Yeah.
And sometimes, I see you guys get the updates, and I just get so homesick. I miss my old house. I miss hanging out with the boys down at the tip head. Just like, oh man, I get so homesick. But then I'm like, look, I do really enjoy it here, and the waves are good. You just have to make a big effort to get to them. Not big effort, but you got to make a much bigger effort than just driving to the tip head.
A substantial effort.
Yeah, and I love the weather over here. The vibes are good, but when the coast is on fire, you just can't beat the coast.
It's true.
Well, you and your cat. So yeah, mental health, mate. Give it a 6er, but she's on the ups. Because actually, a little good thing is like I've lost a couple of kgs. And that's made me feel really good. Yeah.
So give yourself a rating out of 10 on the physical side then.
Oh man, I would have given myself a 3 a month ago.
Yeah.
With all the problems.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
But I would say like a 6.5, which is actually good for me, bro, after the last few years or last couple of years of COVID years, just punishing myself with bad food and sickness and like, yeah. So 6.5 is fucking good for me. So
all right, that's good. That's positive.
Yeah.
Bummer about the mental side of things, but that was isolated to an event on the weekend, and it's a shame. It's a shame.
Yeah, nothing like what Joel Dixon's working with in Burnside.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh, he's got all the crime activity outside his rental there. He talks about on the podcast.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry, I thought you meant working as in his job, but
no. South New Brighton's a very cool, mellow place.
Yeah.
I just went for a nice walk with Tui just before. Yeah, the cat.
Those bloody cats are looking at those bloody ducks out there. Tell you what, if you're a duck ranger,
so what about you, mate? What about you?
I would say I'm probably a 7.5.
Oh,
yeah.
A mental.
Sorry, did I say mental? Yeah. Mentally, I'm feeling 7.5. Nothing to elaborate on that. I've had a few good days, a few boring days with the surf's been shit house the last couple of days. I will tell you a funny little story, which is just true to form for me. Is surf is quite good here on the weekend, right? And I had my daughter, and I could have gone for a surf because I have, done that many times in the past. But I just decided, no, I'll just hang with the kid, just hang out. Don't go away for an hour and a half because I only see her every couple of weeks. So I spend some quality time. And so I did. We went for a walk. We took the 2 dogs for a walk because I'm house sitting Boydo's house at the moment and Boydo's dog. That's Harley right there.
It's not Tess.
Yeah, no, Tess is over there. That's young Harley, brother of Tess. Okay. So we went for a double dog walk at the Cobden Estuary, and then as you're coming around to the beach side, the conditions just look so good, bro. Just combo swell, beautiful dark green color, lovely offshore wind, about 2 to 3 foot. I was just like, oh god! And then I come round to the Cobden side, to the road, and I look over at Blako's. There's like 8 cars there. 8 cars at Blako's.
You're instantly angry.
Yeah. I was instantly eggy as a fucking 5-egg omelette, mate. I'd say, I was spewing. Christ. Not good. So then I had Edison on a flight back to Christchurch on the Sunday.
Yeah.
So I was like racing back to Greymouth, dropped her off, and straight to the beach. Conditions were howling northerly. Lowy had just paddled in. Nate Smith was out, and it wasn't looking like that, but it was fun. But yeah, I had a new wetsuit from Jason Spino. So shout out to Spino. I bought one of his ill-fitting suits for his weird shaped body. And the wetsuit was like real slippery. So the first couple of waves, I was like sort of cooking it. And I was so eggy, Like I remember paddling out and I was apologies, NATO, but I was like, hey, God, like real short, like you've seen
my God. You're so annoying when you're like that, eh? You're like everybody's on eggshells and you're like, it's so annoying. You're just so grumpy and eggy for that first half an hour.
Yeah.
So you get a good one.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm really good at winding you up when you're doing that.
I double down when I know you're winding me up. I'm just like, get even angrier and just non-communicative. I hate it, eh? But yeah, I feel sorry. I can't change the way I can. No, I can, I suppose, change the way I am, but that's the way I am when I miss out on waves, and then I get there and it's kind of average. And so I was like, yeah, "Hey, you go, NATO. You get a couple?" He's like, "Oh yeah." Da, da, da. I was like, "Oh yeah." That was the last I talked to him in the whole surf.
Oh my God.
I'm such a cunt of a man.
You're meant to
sometimes.
get more, as you get older, you're meant to get more mellow in the water, not angrier and more grumpy.
Yeah, I'm going the other way. I'm getting more eggy. But I don't know, maybe I'm bipolar because like when I'm fully sated with surfing, if I've had like 3 or 4 days of good waves, I'm the most fucking happy-go-lucky dude you'll meet in the surf. Fucking sharing waves, hooting, being a clown. I love it. But yeah, if I miss 4 or 5 days, so eggy, man. So eggy.
Even when I was over there with you last month and like me and Nato had been out for a while getting some good ones, you paddled out a bit later. I could tell you were angry just because we'd got some good ones.
Yeah,
and like it took you about 20 minutes to get a good one, then you're all talkative, and I was like,
yeah.
But so hey, that photo I posted was the day in question, I think. Which looked super fun from NATO.
Oh.
There was a photo from NATO that I received.
Oh, that makes me even more fucking grumpy now. That makes me even more fucking grumpy.
I'm always getting a report to know what's going on. And I think this would have added to your mental health too. Standby audience, standby jobs.
No, what?
This. Hang on, mate.
Pyramids? Oh, cool.
Which screen's it showing?
That's cool. It's pyramids in Mexico City.
Oh no.
You fucking clown. Come on, Boomer.
There you go, Boom Boom. Why is it frozen?
He's going to shoulder hop it. Shoulder hoppage. We have to hit it. Here we go.
Yeah, mate.
Oh,
this one. I filmed this. Yeah. Now we're just for the listeners out there.
Yeah, I'm probably going out there. Right?
Go, champ.
I got some trials to trade for.
Go, champ.
So for the listeners out there, that was just a 2-wave combo. First wave was Aaron pulling off the back, and the second wave was unfortunate. I talked to Aaron about it. He was like, "Oh, I just should have waited 5-10 more seconds, and he would have got that heaving, round, solid 3.5 foot, like down better." And that was young McFakes. But physically, I'm feeling probably about the same, about probably 7.5. I've been gymming heaps. My body feels strong, but still just a bit chubber. And what I like to have is what I've talked about before is apocalypse fat. Okay. This is just a little bit of apocalypse chub for anything that might happen. The fucking Alpine fault going off. We could be going through the Taurian meteor shower, which we've just passed through, which is another awesome topic. Do you even know what the Taurian shower is? Meteor shower? Oh my God, bro.
I don't listen to hip hop. I don't listen to hip hop. Sorry, mate.
I do want to talk about this later if we find the time, about this Ancient Apocalypse series on Netflix, but also the great and powerful Graham Hancock, who has been on Rogan for many years, talking about the Younger Dryas impact theory, and I've probably lost about 17 viewers. So see yous.
One more Blaketown update, please.
Yeah.
We received this pixelation from a visiting boogie boarder.
Oh yes.
Mm.
Oh, I really wish you hadn't have shown that, bro.
Oh, we can edit that out if you like.
Yeah, because that's going to be the poster for the comp.
Oh fuck! Oh, just edit it out. All good.
Yeah, just edit it out. Yeah, so Jole from Christchurch came over. How many weekends ago was that now? I guess it was 2 weekends ago. And it was cool to see him. He took a few shots and took a couple of videos. It was great for my little wee big fat ego because he got a couple of videos of me, and I was just thinking I might whack it up on my little Instagram, on the old Joel's Instagram. He got a few vids actually.
A co post with Fu Man Swoo.
Oh, can you do that?
Yeah.
No, you just share it.
Well, can I do the? I've got the video that you sent me, the one of you doing the invert.
Yeah. What about it?
Do you want me to share it now on screen, or do you want to hold on to it?
Yeah, you can share it now because it'll probably come out after I chuck it up.
Recording from Joel's phone. The old man's doing all right here.
Oh, it'll probably freeze when I'm yeah, it was okay. It was average, but
did it come through?
Yeah, it did. It kind of looks funny though. He's going up. He launches.
Oh, deadly guy.
Deadly killer, they call me. Oh, DLK, deadly killer.
Deadly killer. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got quite a few show notes here, Joels.
Oh, as do I, my friend. As do I. Boogie boarding relating topics. Shall we start off with that just to keep all of the boogie boys and girls fizzing up?
Hit me with the mediocre findings of the latest 2 weeks of boogie boarding news.
I have to think it's been that fucking dry, but I guess the biggest, coolest thing in my mind is Hawaii is starting to light up. So starting to see some cool clips with our old buddy Andre Bota. Andre Bota's back. He's back on the big rock. And I saw a cool clip of Dubbard getting a nice drop knee pipe at Pipe today. So that was cool. So that's probably the only update that I'm aware of, apart from a lot of stuff happening in New Zealand bodyboarding at the moment. It seems like there's clubs popping up, there's trial events, there's a lot of stuff happening. What about you, mate? Have you got any bodyboarding related stuff popping up?
Nah.
What's that face? Nah.
Nah. I mean, I'm just trying to ride my boogie board underground, bruh.
Oh, mate, you get those underground spots, eh?
Underground, bruh.
You get those underground spots. Hey, question.
Yeah.
Because as we all know, or for those of you who don't know, I'm off to Melbourne soon, and I'm going to go and urban surf.
Oh.
And you ever so politely offered for me to. That's your face. Is that offer still on the charge, mate? The old guy, bro?
Oh.
The old guy, bro? You were lost there for a second, eh? You're like, oh no, what have I offered?
I was getting worried, eh?
Is he going to take my firstborn child? You offered me your child. You said you could have her.
Yeah, have it. You fucking can sometimes.
Oh no, those bloody under 5 years. Those under 5 years. I don't miss them. I don't miss them at all.
Really, I'm gonna miss it like crazy, eh?
Oh, I miss the baby stage. Hey, I miss the bubby. Hey?
Yeah, babies are the best, bro.
Yeah. They're just so squishy and cute. And yeah, they're popping and shitting, but it's so cool watching all their firsts, and they're crawling and shitting on your foot and walking and spewing on your lap. And yeah, it's good times.
We were watching a TV show the other night, and there was this really cute baby, like a little naked cute baby being cuddled by the mother. and I just started tearing up. Eh? Because
Oh,
I was like, fuck, I miss that. Eh? Like I
yeah.
said to Sophie was laughing because she
Yeah.
like just out of nowhere. I was like, oh my god, I fucking miss my baby.
Yes. Are you a guy who chokes up like in any sort of emotional thing on TV or just certain things?
Certain things, I think. Yeah, not really. There's actually been a couple of things that have made me burst into tears. One was a Pike River documentary.
Oh yeah,
That
that's heavy. Of
that and
course.
that's because obviously, like, you know, when you live on the coast and know the people that you do, and
Yeah.
you got the connection in some ways to it.
There's
Yeah.
not many degrees of separation, is there, with that sort of
No,
tragedy?
no.
No.
I knew people that worked at Pike. We've got
Mm.
friends that lost family members there,
Yeah, we do.
and so yeah, I I I like cried proper at the
Oh,
end of one of those documentaries,
shit. Yeah, that's a
and then
good.
I think uh and there was a book, the my favorite fantasy series of all time, the Realm of the Elderlings. Reading the very last book,
Mm.
cried like a baby, like 3 or 4 times reading that book.
It's good.
I mean, you
You're
know how
such a
big those
pussy
books
cat.
are. I think it was just because it's so fucking big.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. You
You
spend
know,
so
they're
much
like
time.
1,000 pages each.
Yeah.
Yeah, and spent like 5 years reading them, and then old mate dies at the end, and oh yeah, it's fucking pretty savage.
I'm the big sap, bro. I'm a big sap. Cry at almost everything, eh? Like Addison pays me out because there'll be something like slightly emotional on TV, and I'll see her looking over at me, waiting for me to start, like my eyes just well up at the drop of a hat, like any sort of emotional thing on TV. Like I was watching Survivor the other night, and
Oh my god, I was about to make fun of you for you actually Survivor.
yes, wait for it. They have the moment where they get all the letters from home and they start reading them and they're all crying and I'm starting to fucking tears are dripping down my fucking sad face and they're talking about oh god. Oh, I miss my baby. Oh, it's from my dad. He says he's so proud of me. But yeah, I'm a big sap, bro. I'm a big sap. Anyway, back to back to Melbourne trip. All good if I borrow your GoPro because I am still going to go and surf that Melbourne wave.
Yeah, definitely, bro. Would
Was
make
there a
a cool wee
hesitation
clip.
there? Yeah. But do you want to give me
That
any like
GoPro, that GoPro's the best. Oh shit! I mean, I've scored some good waves in the last few weeks.
yes, yes, you have.
And
Are you going to give us a little wee sneaker peek?
well, I won't do the video because,
That's okay, just a little framey.
but I can do a little sneaky peeky because
Yeah.
you know, Christchurch politics with waves over here.
Oh yeah, but that's everywhere, isn't it?
Well, in places that can't handle crowds.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah, shit, yeah.
Or what
And
do you
like
think Blaketown can handle crowds when there's one peak?
no, but we're like, come on, we don't. Do you want to have this? Do you want to have this discussion? Because we've had it many fucking times.
We won't. We won't.
We've had this discussion many times.
We don't need to. We don't need to.
There are pretty much written rules about posting for Blaketown these days. So,
and do you know what?
Blaketown's a public spot, but we, as a crew, make it pretty clear to anybody that's like doing same day posting, like live updates or something. They get told pretty quick.
Yes.
Because we've seen it, eh? Like, like it'll be pumping one day. Someone from Christchurch posts it on their story on Instagram or something, and then the next day there might be two or three carloads turning up.
It's a real thing.
Yeah.
And fair enough for the locals to get shitty about that. And words have been said to a few people over the years.
Quite a few. And
quite a few.
And so yeah, that's the rule. But we're definitely not against posting for Blaketown. But it's just, as you know, it's a bit different in Christchurch.
Oh no, I can't take that. I can't take that. I can't take that. But I'm the biggest hypocrite and locals can be. So locals have free run. We can post whatever we want within reason. Like good old Jai, he's always loving to post. he's pissed off many people over the years with putting photos and videos up of certain spots around the coast. But I love his attitude. He's just like, well, fuck them. They're not surfing. I'm fucking out there doing shit.
It's true. It's true.
Well, it is.
It's true that's 9 Mile. That 9 Mile clip of his was just phenomenal.
How cooking was it?
Fucking phenomenal.
It was
bro.
crazy.
Maybe we'll just do a little share of that just while we're. But yeah, there's a little sneak peek of the just some action I've had in the last few weeks.
That's a nice looking. Oh, he's gone. He's gone. You're going to have to bloody pause that for the viewers at home.
Pause that one.
You have to pause that. It's
Pause
cause for pause. Cause for pause, mate. Hey. So
Yeah.
Oz Trip's coming up. I've got some exciting news to share with you, Hodgo and listeners and viewers. I'm going to be doing a podcast with the one and only. Actually, I'm doing 2 podcasts. I'm doing one podcast with Frank Robinson, which I would love for you to chime in. I know you said that you're not really keen, but
I don't like Frank.
Yeah, not many people do. No, but I can easily just chime you in. Like me and him will be sitting together. There's no reason why we can't be looking at a screen and getting questions from you, my bro. And same with an ex-Christchurch person who may have just started the Isolated website.
That's huge news. No,
way. I told you right now for the first time. Cool, eh?
No way. Yeah. Breaking news on Fu Man Poo.
Confirmed next Wednesday.
No. I'm so excited. I'm actually so excited. All of the memories just come flooding back then, eh?
Yeah. So you can chime in as well. I'll just send you the link. The timing might be shit for you though, because I'd say we'll probably do it early evening, like 5 or 6, have a few beers, and then I'll probably go out in the piss with them and see some live bands and shit. So see how you get on. See how you get on. You might be able to do some working from home and just have a couple of airs.
Yeah. See how we go.
Yeah.
I need to put it on my calendar. You know, I live my life by my calendar, so I've got to put it on my calendar tonight so I don't forget.
So chuck it in your Cali. It's going to be like Wednesday, New Zealand time. I guess it'll be approximately, fuck knows. I envisage we'll probably do it early evening, 4 or 5 or 6. But I'll message you closer to the time. But yeah, I'm so pumped to surf the fucking Urban Surf Melbourne wave pool. Yeah, me and Frankie have booked in. I told Paulus to book in the session when we're going to do it, but it's going to be fucking sick.
Are you going to go beast mode?
Oh, yeah. I have booked in expert level. It's at the cuntiest time. It's the first session of the day and the last session of the day, which is so annoying. 7 a.m. or 10 p.m.
Do you know that they only let you ride surfboards at beast mode, bro?
It's not true.
That'd be so good if you tapped. What's that? It's my boogie board. You fuck off. You're not riding that. You just grab a rental. You go grab
imagine that.
5.5.
I'd probably just prone it if it was 5.5.
Here's this 9-foot mal. You're not allowed to take that kooky fucking shark biscuit out there,
Nah, they're very boogie friendly over there, I think.
That'd be so funny, eh? You're like so pumped you spend all this money to go there and what's that piece of shit? You're not using that. Oh yeah?
It'd be soul destroying. Imagine if he's like, you can't actually go out an expert level until we've seen you go up the level. So you have to come back tomorrow and go through all the levels. It's only going to cost $4,000.
That's actually what I saw at that one in Queensland called the Surf Lake or whatever. That you get one, like they give you the lifeguards, they give you like a test run to see if you can take off on the hard out peak, and if you blow the takeoff, you're not allowed to surf it. You have to go surf one of the novice peaks.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, but you only
I,
get one shot. Imagine if you
Oh.
just slip or something. It's like, oh, come on, another chance, please.
Just one more, please. What are these fucking
Yeah.
dogs up to, eh? They're just looking outside, staring at birds. Fucking weirdos.
Okay, so we've got a McTakey, and stand by.
We'll get a McFakes
Got a
McTake.
McTake fake.
McFakes take.
McTake's fake. Stand by, Joles. We got the stinger. Well, the draft stinger anyway.
Are you going to
Sorry.
play it live on there?
Yeah.
Sick.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
But this is just the draft one.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah. Okay, here comes the sting.
Here comes the sting.
Okay.
Here comes the sting.
All right.
All right, ready?
Okay. You can see the chats.
Every now and then we've got nothing to say, and Ben McFake is pretty gay, but he helps us out with a question or two. We call it Ben McFakes Takes, Ben McFakes Takes, Ben McFakes Takes, Ben McFakes Takes.
It's quite good. That sounded good in my opinion, but I was the one who sang it, so of course I'm going to say that. But
Do you know, I want to shorten that. I want to shorten that to like 5 seconds, where like you do the
maybe just the
McTake-
last bit. Ben
McFakes
McFakes
gay.
Takes. Oh,
Yeah, McFakes gay, and then something McTakes cakes, and then just him right at the end with his Blaketown twang going, "Oh hey guys,
oh, hey guys.
hey
Oh,
guys,
have you been out? Have you guys been out?
it's pretty shit out there, eh?
Oh no, I'm not going out in that, eh? It's shit, eh?
Oi, have you even been to Raro, eh?"
You know, when I was writing that, I was like, fuck, this is actually like a 30-second song. This is not a sting. This is like a 30-second song.
A sting is like 2 seconds long.
Yeah. But it was fun. I enjoyed doing it. It took me 7 minutes. So that was fun. What does McFakes take for this poddy?
He said the weirdest place you've ever pooed. Was it? Was that? Was it? Wasn't it?
Yeah, whatever. Taking a shit.
Yeah. What's the weirdest place you've ever taken a shit? And also, I want to discuss quickly. Well, I'm pretty sure that I could, because we've been arguing a little bit in our group chat today, but I'm pretty convinced that I could smash all 3 of you in one go. You, McTake, and Nate Smith. I reckon I'll snap you all in half, eh? Give me 3 minutes. Give me fucking 3 minutes.
Mate, you're fucking dreaming. So hang on, we're talking about shitting and you're talking about trying to fight us.
Yeah. You got a light there, mate? You're getting pretty dark,
Yeah, I was thinking I'm going to have to do something about that. Just hold fire and I'll take out the headphones, but you'll still be able to see me, hear me.
Okay. Yeah. So,
I can hear you, I think.
McTake's weirdest place you
that's better.
have taken a shit.
Ben McFakes Takes.
Yeah. What's the weirdest
Shit
place
away.
I've ever taken a shit? That
Ben McFakes Takes.
I've taken some fucking heck.
Oh, that's a bit better, is it? Yeah.
Yeah, it's way better, mate, eh? You got the new Venetian behind you, actually. You got the new Venetian. Yeah, what's the weirdest place you've ever taken a shit, mate? I'm struggling a little bit. There's definitely some fucking weird places I've pooed. Yeah.
Oh, I've got so many.
Oh, we'll start, please, because I'm struggling a little bit.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So the number one, and it's quite fun because this day it's like a 2-part, okay, 2-part story. One part is me shitting. The other part
How long is this going to be, bro?
Yeah, probably quite a while.
Oh, fuck. I'm just going to put my microphone down.
Do I have real eyes? Do I have stupidly long stories or what? No, but I need you to engage, and put little wee little tidbits in between, like a little wee yeah, or a little bit, oh yeah, and a little maybe a little or even a little bit of a, oh, that's weird. Okay, I'll just
instantly bored, eh?
okay, well, I'll just say where I shitted then, because the other part of the story was that same day I actually had a number 3 in the surf.
Number 3.
Yeah, do you not know what a number 3 is?
A number 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever had a number 3 in the surf?
Oh, well, just
So a number 3
I've
is
never had a
solo.
number 3. I've got horny in the water, but I've never had a number 3.
Yes. So this day was a very rare day. I started off surfing. It was really fun. I was by myself, super horned up, had a number 3 in the surf, and then followed that up by a number 2. So actually, yeah, a lot of shit was going on in the old ocean. Literally. Yeah, so I did a poo at Sponge Bay surf break in Gisborne. I was surfing this wave called Garbage, which is a very rare little left-hand mushy wave that breaks off the point. Hardly ever breaks. Teza might disagree. He probably surfed it heaps, but I only surfed it really fun once. And yeah, that day I had a number 3 and a number 2. So for me, weirdest place that I can think of is actually in the surf, taking a shit.
Right. I've taken a shit out at Taylor's Mistake with like people everywhere on a day with my boardies. I was just like, and it was that good, but there was people. I just paddled out really far out the back, but I think people could tell what I was doing.
They could tell.
I took a big shit.
Was it obvious that you were shitting?
I think so. Especially when you like get off your board and start floating out. No one said anything though.
Yep.
Yeah.
I've actually had quite a few aquaturds. It's probably not a weird place to shit when you think about it. I'd say most of our crew would have done this.
I've had some desperate shits like running like public toilets and stuff.
Mm.
Yeah, fucking strangest place. Yeah, that was one of the worst. Do you know? But I was actually thinking one of the funniest shit stories I've ever. I don't know if this will translate, but one of the funniest shit stories I've ever seen was I was with Bones and Brooksy. We're at a certain locale, and it was pumping when we turned up, pumping, and Brooksy was so excited. He got his wetsuit on within like 30 seconds and he goes, oh, fuck, I've got to take a shit. So he like whipped around like away from us and he, did the old squat, took the wetty down, did the old squat. But little do we know that Mr. Brooks didn't actually pull his wetty down properly. So he come jogging back and he goes, oh, Bones, can you zip me up? Because it was a back zip. Can you zip me up? and I wasn't watching. And then I heard Bones like gag. I was like, what's going on? And I looked over and Sammy had shit all down the back of his wetty. It was all over the zip. And like, and Sammy was yelling at Bones to like, zip it up. Bones like a warrior, like had to like pull the zip up. And then Sam bolted for the water to jump in and wash himself. And it was so disgusting. It was the most rank thing I've ever seen, eh?
It was haggard. So haggard. Yuck.
So that was a shit in a weird place, I suppose.
I did tell my epic shit story on the Jole and Tim podcast on my inaugural sitting, for want of a better word. And that was when, I had the diarrhea bug and it kicked in as I was mid-date with a chick. And remember, I had to run. You've heard that story, and I had to run. I would run to the elevator because I didn't want to shit in the family toilet. So I ran to the elevator and like panicked and hit the top floor instead of the bottom floor. So then had to jump out, ran into the stairwell and shit into my t-shirt. And it was the hottest smelling liquid green putrid, absolutely like when you have a stomach bug, the smell is absolutely intense.
It's like the gates of hell. It's the gates of hell open.
Yeah, that does. It's like it's sulfuric. It is hell. And managed to cup all the poo, wipe my ass, put my boardies back up, and I just chucked that fucking t-shirt in the lobby rubbish tin. Can you imagine someone emptying out that rubbish tin downstairs, and they would have seen a fucking diuretic fucking t-shirt?
Okay, well here you go. This isn't a full shit. This isn't a full shit that I did, but it's a shart. But it was like it was more than a shart. It was like it was a shart that led to like a splattering, right? And so I was about 18 and I was just getting over a stomach bug as well. And this is what the old days when the strip used to be, the thing. And
I remember in Christchurch, the famous strip.
The strip, if you want to have a fight, go to the strip. And we went out town, we're on the piss, and then everybody used to, this was back in the day, everybody used to be able to go underneath the Avon River bridges that go over the Avon River and piss under them.
Yeah.
So like I desperately had to take a piss. So I ran under the Avon River bridge, took a piss, and I thought, I might squeeze out a wee fart here. And that fart led to a heavy shart.
Follow through.
And then it just exploded in my pants.
Yeah.
I was like, oh fuck. And and the closest bar with no line was the rock pool. So
geez, no line.
I ran over there. I ran over to the rock pool, got in, and I had to take off my pants, and I had nowhere to put the undies because they were just full of shart.
Oh.
So I put them in the top of the I'd lifted the lid off the toilet.
Yeah.
The system and put the sharty undies.
Yeah, it's a good spot.
In there, and then the rest of the night.
Imagine that person fighting that as well. I just feel so bad for the people. Did you carry on? Just keep party.
Come out,
Hey, feeling good. Gotta wipe my ass a million times. This is a great chat. Now, allegedly, when sometimes you might partake in certain drugs, it can tend to make you downstairs act up. I've heard stories, and story reminds me of someone that was at the railway in Greymouth, and he had partaken in certain drugs, and downstairs operation was on the fritz, and then little farts, same as what you're saying, farts follow through, and then sometimes you got to do a bit of a check, Sometimes if you're really risky, you'll actually just go down with the hand and just check. Go for a little hand check pre-toilet.
Yeah.
So you put your hand down. Oh no, it's wet. It's wet down there. That's a big old acid sharp coming right. Allegedly, you pull your hand back up and you're like, "Fuck! Now I'm gonna do this with this fucking swooey pooey fucking finger." Off to the toilet you go. Sit on the fucking shitter.
Probably one of the worst actually was when my first time living over on the coast, and it was a Friday arvo, and I met up with a friend, and we went out to the Spates Ale House, and I had the lamb shank, right, which is massive, right, huge, and I had like three.
You can get the one or the two. You probably got the two.
I got I had 3 or 4 pints. I was pretty steamed. And she drove me down. She drove me down to Blaketown. I said, let's go down to Blaketown and have a look. We'll go have a dart down there. And little do I know, I pull up. The McFake and ads are out there and it's pumping.
Oh.
And I'm like, can you run me home? I've got to get my gear. And so I ran home, grabbed my gear, barely legal to drive, probably.
Oh,
And I get there because this is when I, lived right in town there.
I remember.
And
Coat Street.
yeah, Coast Street. And then so I got back to the beach and got on my gear. And then, honestly, again, Mount Doom started to bubble in when I got my wetsuit on.
Oh, no. Pre-toilets, too. Pre-Blaketown toilets.
Pre-Blaketown toilets. So, I climbed down near the jump rock, found a little alcove, and took a giant shit in front of McTaken ads. And I was naked because I had to take my weddy off. So they were and it was like a real grey, misty day. They were just watching me and just laughing. I
love those. I love a Blaketown rock poo. They're one of the most satisfying poos, I reckon, out there. You get really into it. Hey, I just got to quickly let these dogs out. They're fucking driving me nuts. They're like lapping towards me in the door, basically saying, "Can you let me outside? I need to either
let me outside. I got to kill that
duck or shit and piss." So I'll be back in 2 seconds.
All good. Another one I was thinking of, crew, while Giles does that, was actually back in the old days before the council ruined the original jump rock in the middle there. I pulled up, went to jump out the water, and that was when the flat rock was right there, the perfect flat rock where you could just put your gear on, sit on the flat rock, and then climb down to the old jump rock there. And one of our esteemed locals had left the biggest cable I've ever seen on the flat rock there.
Who was that?
Deza.
Oh, no way.
Huge shit. Remember the flat rock?
Yeah, I love that rock. It was so cool.
I missed that jump spot, eh?
Saying it was the Boogs spot. That was the original Boogs jump spot. Yeah. And Bradley McEwen always reckoned it was a conspiracy. Everything's a conspiracy for Bradley, but because he was living back here, this might have been 3 or 4 years ago, when he actually saw these dump trucks come down with the rocks, and they just backed up and just fucking tipped the rocks, smashed our fucking flat rock, and kind of ruined our jump rock. And he was like, "I reckon they did that on purpose. I reckon the Kahuna boys might have tipped them off, because that's why would they do that? Why would they do that?" I was just like, "It's just coincidence, you fucking drone."
Do you see Kingies fighting the big fight with the Port Mac government to try and stop them from putting heaps of rocks out on their break wall?
See that? Yep.
I still my favorite jump rock is still the one at the end though. It's you got a little staircase down, and then you skip across that little sort of bowl area, and then you climb up onto that beautiful sort of triangular flat rock. You've got the ultimate launch pad. Whereas the old jump rock, if you didn't, no matter what tide it was, if you didn't have your wits about you, you were going to get fucked up. And Nate Smith broke his ankle there. I know another Christchurch dude that broke a couple of ribs by fucking it up. Yeah. It's still a hectic jump rock.
I think they're both quite hectic. The one that we use now, which is what I would call the low to mid tide jump rock, because at high tide, if it's bigger than 2 to 3 foot, that thing's almost unjumpable way. I've done it a couple of times, but it's fucking sketch. Whereas the old one, the flat rock jump rock, that was all tide, eh? It was high but at the high tide was the sketchiest as well. Anytime, any high tide, jumping off those rocks is pretty hectic. But that one was, you had to time it perfectly. The old one, eh?
There used to be a really good one next to the bird feeder as well.
But that one goes good.
Yeah, but it's sort of ruined. It's hard to get down there now.
It's kind of fucked now.
Yeah.
And it is just
that one too.
Yeah, they didn't, it's not intentional. They just, had more rocks to fucking reinforce the chip, mate. Reinforce the chip.
Sure.
I'd like to reinforce my tip.
Oh.
Somewhere.
Yuck. All right. Well, a quick little intermission here, Jole.
Yeah, sure.
I'd like to share just a random little video I saw on the internet today, which I thought was, a good So basically we've got a digger doing some work on a bridge in what looks like India. I'm being racist, but somewhere in South, what do you call it? Asia.
Well, it is.
South.
India is Asia, yeah.
Yeah. But I can't remember, mate.
I don't know. I'm pretty shit. I'm pretty shit with geography, eh?
Yeah,
I gotta say, I'm not that worldly, eh?
Okay, here we go. I quite enjoyed it.
That guy won.
That one?
Oh. Oh no! Oh wow, that was a
30-ton digger
out.
down in the drink.
लिगड़ गया
Oh. Nah, that's salvageable, mate. That's easy.
Get that one back, mate.
हाँ है और वो वाला वो भी लिगड़
I think I've seen enough.
Oh yeah, it's still going.
Wow.
Well, there you go.
That was a lovely little wee. Now I want to see what's that pyramid? What research are you doing with
Oh
those
yeah,
pyramids?
yeah. Hang on, I just found this really interesting. This photo. Pull out your conspiracy skills here, please, Joles.
Yeah, man. I love this
So,
shit.
who-
This is fucking my shit, man. My
God, what do you
jams.
say? How do you say this? Teo.
I'll be able to go. I'm good. I'm good with this shit.
Teotihuacan Pyramid.
Well, let's have a look. I'll pronounce it for you, son.
Teotihuacan.
I can't see the name.
Oh
yeah.
Okay, so-
Teotihuacan.
Are you an expert Amazonian
Yeah.
Aztec fucking
Teotihuacan.
scholar? Are you?
Teotihuacan.
You're probably close, actually.
I reckon. What about it?
Look at that. Look at the difference from 1900
Mhm.
to 2022.
Yeah.
So people would have thought it was just a hill
Yes.
for centuries.
Yes. So this segues perfectly into my ancient apocalypse chats that I wanted to talk to you about.
True.
So they're finding these sites all over the world. There's still so many that haven't been uncovered, haven't been unearthed, and they're dating them before what we call as mainstream history says that there was civilizations, if you know what I mean. So mainstream history sort of says that, what is it? I don't know, nothing sort of over 4,000 years ago. They believe that sort of 4,000 to 6,000 years ago, people weren't making pyramids. Before that, it was just hunter-gatherers. But Graham Hancock and his crew, they have found evidence, and it's very strong evidence, that there were pyramids well before that. We're talking before like 12,000 years ago, and they're saying even earlier, like before then. And now what I was talking about earlier is, have you heard about this whole Younger Dryas impact theory? Have you heard about this? Do you know what the Younger Dryas period is?
Is that like when punk came out?
Yes. It was when the Sex Pistols first came out.
Yeah.
So I think the Younger Dryas is around about 12,500 to 13,000 years ago.
Younger Dryas, is that a SoundCloud rapper?
Yes. So that's the period that they call it. They historians and geographers, they all have these periods, sections. I don't know if they're 1,000 years or 2,000 years, but they're little sections of time. And there's unequivocal evidence. This is mainstream evidence that there was a great flood in around about 1,200. I'm losing him. Around about 12,800 years ago, there was a giant event, right?
Yeah.
Because the seas rose like 400 and something feet. It basically created one of the ice ages. Well, fuck! I don't see why you're not interested. You were interested.
I am interested. No, I am. I'm just doing it for the bit.
Oh,
I'm just because it was actually a good bit.
It was a good bit. I like that.
It was a good bit. I'm coming back up because I am interested.
Okay.
Because it was a good bit.
It is a good bit. So, massive almost earth-ending apocalypse happened 12,800 years ago. Seas rose, shot up about 421 feet within, they say, days or weeks. Could you imagine what would have happened to planet Earth if the seas just rose that fast?
And how many days, bro?
They say, they sort of estimate it could have been as short as like 4 to 5, but they say probably over a period of a couple of weeks.
How?
This is the theory, and it's a very plausible theory, and that's what I was talking about before. It's this Taurian meteor showers, right? Well, so there's a bunch of, so listen up. There's a bunch of
I'm actually interested.
Oh, cool. So
I'm doing a bit.
yeah, no, it's cool. So there's a bunch of comets, right? Now, one of the biggest ones is called Enki. Now, what god is Enki from? What civilization? Enki.
Must be a bloody Mary.
No, it could be. There might be something
I'm only
similar,
joking. It's just my worldview. No, I don't know. Enki, like something Aztec.
Egyptian.
Right.
He was one of the gods. But anyway, there's this giant comet, and that is part of the. I can't concentrate when you leave the podcast when I'm trying to get all bloody techie with you. Oh, here he is. So there's a comet stream or a comet group of meteors called the Taurian meteor group, right? Now Earth comes into their orbit twice a year, in June and in November every single year, right? And you can actually see them. Some parts of the planet you can see meteor showers, and people are like, oh wow, that's the Taurian meteor, da 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 da. So the theory is that every God knows how long it is, it might be 12,000 years, it could be 15,000 years, is that we get a little bit closer to this meteor group of clusters of meteors. And that's their theory, is that we got too close. And hey, every single civilization, all the mythical legends, what do they all talk about? They all talk about a great flood, and they all talk about this massive apocalyptic event. And so the theory goes on further about how they theorize that there were civilizations before, the giant meteor apocalypse of 12,800 years ago. And it just makes me it makes my mind boggle. Oh. What amazing technologies did these humans have way back in the day where they could create these fucking pyramids? The talk about the lost city of Atlantis, that was probably that probably got wiped out with this whole apocalypse. It's fucking so fascinating, bro. Honestly, I'm fully into it right now. It's got me.
That's awesome, man. Like, it really does boggle the mind at how civilizations lived and what they went through. And this planet has been through apocalyptic events, some say hundreds or thousands of times. So it's just a cycle.
Yeah.
And eventually this civilization's going to see another apocalyptic event, whether it's self-induced or from the outer known.
Well, could be.
And like it really, like even like you look at Pompeii, right? And they dig up stuff at Pompeii. There's people, the mummified bodies. They've still got the details of their clothing. There was like just recently a shop was uncovered where there was like a menu, a fucking menu with like art on the counter of the shop. Crazy. Of what they could order.
I don't know much about Pompeii. Tell me more.
Well, Pompeii was the Roman, was it Greek or Roman? I think I was pretty sure it was Roman. It was a Roman city under this giant bloody volcano. And essentially the volcano erupted, the ash covered the entire city, killed hundreds of thousands of people. I think it was thousands. And because the ash settled and it was abandoned, it like so many of the bodies mummified, and the structure of the city stayed so intact for thousands of years. So they continue to excavation, the stuff that they take out of the Egyptian tombs, and these motherfuckers knew stuff that even our civilizations don't know.
Oh shit! what fascinates me more about like this whole massive apocalyptic event 12,800 years ago is there's probably still remains out there of these lost cities somewhere. Although they probably would have got completely obliterated, right? Imagine the fucking seas rising 420 feet in a matter
So it
of
just
days.
mean these just global tsunamis, just just
Yeah.
global tsunamis going like kilometers and kilometers inland.
And floods as well. They reckon
Yeah.
that the top the Arctic ice cap just completely cracked, and so all through Northern
Yeah.
America just was a flood, like a terrible landscaping flood that just fucking just ripped the earth into these massive ravines. Google when you get a
Yeah.
chance. I should be doing this, but you should have a look at the Scablands. If you type in the Scablands, it's these giant what are they? Just massive ravines. They span for like miles and miles and miles wide, and that would have been an actual torrent of water going through. How crazy is that, eh?
Just looking at that now. Wow.
Yeah.
I'll just bring up a photo.
Cool. I just got to go shut the door now. The dogs are back inside. Hold fire.
How did the channeled Scablands form? Wow, that's pretty wild. Let me just share this with your team. Hang on. Fucking hell, look at that. Hang on.
That's good now. The dogs they've all been outside now for a little wee play. Yeah, look at that.
Oh my god.
So
okay, so look, you got that, but there was a better photo.
yeah, that's better. There's better ones than that.
Oh, it's just stopped me from looking at that's kooky.
Oh.
Anyway.
Yeah, so these Scablands. But anyway, anyone who's interested in this kind of topic, it's currently on Netflix. He's finally created this awesome show, but he's been bleating on about this for decades now. This is Graham Hancock. But yeah, just go and watch Ancient Apocalypse, and you'll see what we're talking about. Yeah, that one on the right. It's just crazy. Like,
oh, this one here, yeah, crazy, man.
Like that was caused, they reckon, by giant floodwater from the Arctic ice cap. So giant glaciers, boulders just ripping through the earth.
Yeah, it's awesome, bro.
Anyway, I love that shit. Love it.
Yeah, well, I'd love to dive into that more of that stuff. It's just like there's only so much time in the day, and I'm gaming and I'm boogieboarding and I'm hanging out with my daughts, reading fantasy books. If you want to watch a really cool movie about some Amazonian explorers, it's called The Lost City of Z, I think.
Okay.
And it came out a few years ago. Some British dude in a party, they just become obsessed with the Amazon because he was totally convinced that there were these gigantic cities within the Amazon and like irrigation canals and roads and everything. And he just became, his whole life was obsessed with it. And he eventually disappeared, him and his son. They
in
were
real
never
life?
seen. Yeah, real life. They were never seen again. He was like a colonel in the British military in the early 20th century, and he disappeared after he'd done like countless missions in there, and he was never seen again. And the theory is he got taken by one of the tribes, him and his son.
Maybe.
But yeah, he was. It looked like he might have found a bit of evidence, and I think modern day using lidar data, which they're finding evidence of these roadways and canals in the Amazon, which is fucking crazy.
This is what I'm talking about. The same crew are talking about this exactly the same thing. They even talk about the Amazon jungle, bro. They reckon that they've only LiDAR'd about 10% of the Amazon, and they reckon if they LiDAR the whole lot, they reckon there's heaps of ancient civilizations and old pyramids and villages, and yeah, exactly. It's the same story.
It's one of the benefits of deforestation in the Amazon. It's uncovering a lot of these artifacts, which is I suppose not a positive, but it's like it's
not positive at all.
Side effect. It's a side effect of deforestation of the Amazon.
What old mate Hancock wants is just some rich billionaire just to fund the LiDAR. Because if you LiDAR the whole Amazon, you'd be able to find out what's going on.
Really?
Yeah.
Why are these fucking colonist fucking Brits? Get out of it. You bastards. Fucking colonizers.
What about them? What are you going on about now? What tangent?
I don't know. It's funny because in our Western world, we always know the true sources of information are always like a Western scientist or something, but there's probably within these areas local scientists and local indigenous people and that have got just as much information, or if not more. But because someone like Graham Hancock has the bigger profile, we take him as the true source of information.
No, well, this is where you're wrong. It's the opposite, actually. He's like the outcast, and he goes to places like Egypt where the local Egyptian archaeologists, and they tell him to fuck off. They don't want him to rewrite history because they reckon that they know what the history is within Egypt, and he's saying, nah, it's far older than what you're saying. And that is basically, he can't go to Egypt anymore, and he can't go to a few other places because they're like, nah, you're ruining our heritage, our life, But he's just like, have an open mind. Why not at least entertain the idea that humans have probably had fucking tens of thousands of history before what we think?
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, I suppose it's the way he approaches it. Who's backing him? It's just, it can become very complex. Like we were talking about that really interesting thing where someone came up with this theory about there being Vikings in New Zealand long before Māoris, and that got some Māori people really fucking riled up.
Oh yeah, exactly.
That's
that's a similar story, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because
but the issue is that the evidence isn't there. That's the issue. Yeah.
It's interesting. It's all, who knows, eh? Like, how old is New Zealand, considering that it was part of Gondwana land way back in the day, right? Which was a huge continent. And then,
was there anybody on? There was no humans on Gondwana land. That was dinosaur age, wasn't it? Yeah,
I think so. But then, then it was a massive flood. But then, the rise of these new civilizations, they claim that they were traveling, cross-Atlantic traveling, cross-ocean traveling all the time, well before fucking James Cookie and all the Spanish tards were doing it.
Fucking Cookie.
Cookie cutter.
Well, I saw a report that just recently came out that said they're looking like they got evidence that Māori civilization first started around about the 1200s or early 1300s.
I would probably say it's probably older. Who knows? Fuck.
I would. How much? So much stuff. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it was even older than that.
Yeah, I would say so.
They navigated their way into the fucking Pacific Islands thousands of years before that.
Yeah. Who's to say they hadn't been back and forth many times? Who's to say? Yeah.
Well, that's the thing, bro. That's the thing, is that there's a lot of evidence and a theory going, and they were such master navigators by the tides, currents, winds, and stars that there was probably not a culture of it, but probably quite frequent times when they went back and forth.
I reckon.
Before they sent the real big waka down here to settle. Because I was talking to this dude in the Rarotonga Museum when I was there earlier this year.
How many times have you been to Raro again?
49.
Oh, yeah.
On my vaka.
Yeah, you swam there, eh?
I'll put on there on my NMD boogieboarder. And
yeah, nice. Shout out to NMD.
And what was I going to tell you? He said, so I asked him because he's been on one of those journeys from Rarotonga to Auckland or to Northland.
Yeah, you did actually mention this. Yeah.
Did I? And
I think so.
He said, and I go, how long did it take? And I was expecting him to say like, 3 months. He goes, 18 days, bro. I was like, what? He's like, yeah, 18 days. It took us 18. And like he goes,
Crazy.
so they got the modern built Vaka, but they're still in the same shape as the old ones, but they've got the modern technologies if they get in trouble. Right.
Oh, you got the fucking 125 horsepower engines on the back, eh?
No, I don't think they've got motors on them, but they've got they'll use the master navigators, but if they got in trouble, they could go to the radio, PLB, GPS, whatever, to get themselves out of real trouble. And so he reckons that back in the day, without all the modern shit, right, it might have only taken around about like between 20 and 25 days, depending on the currents and weather and stuff, which is like nothing.
That's mellow.
You know?
Yeah, if you have a good run, and I'm sure they would have been pretty onto it with like detecting storms within a short distance, you know. I don't know. It's crazy.
There was a waka found in Nelson, near Nelson, on the western coast of Nelson, right up top there, excavated, by archaeologists. And the waka had turtle shells carved into the side of the waka. And so that was direct evidence that was probably possibly a waka that came back and forth between here and the islands, because there was no turtles. Like people didn't, Maori society didn't really have much to do with turtles.
No.
Yeah. So they were saying like that was probably one of the last wakas that came from the islands, or might have even been coming back and forth.
It's fascinating, I tell you. It's bloody fascinating.
Oh yeah, it's bloody fascinating.
And who's to say that other people haven't come to New Zealand before Polynesians? Like I said, like other cultures, other seafaring cultures, like the Vikings. I know that's on the complete other side of the world, but and what about Papua New Guineans? What were they up to? Are they seafaring folk?
Aboriginals.
They weren't really seafarers, were they? They were just sort of more.
No.
Were they? No.
Oh well, not like the Polynesians.
No.
Not like the Polynesians. I
guess they were happy because they had a massive continent to roam, so they're like, meh, we're good here. All the food they needed.
Get a bloody roo.
Get a bloody roo. Get a bloody wombat. Get a bloody emu. And then all the sea fish.
Couple of snakes.
I just said all the sea fish.
Fuck, mate, you're a scholar, eh? You're
I'm
an absolute
clever,
scholar.
man. I'm underrated how clever I am, eh? I went to school. I went to school, bro.
Yeah. Okay, so last couple of things for me, Joles. I think we could wrap it up with our usual UFC chat.
Yeah.
But just before that, just wanted. I gave you a teaser the other day, but I said to Sophie the other day, I said, look, how long we had our bed for? She's like, 5-6 years.
Oh, yeah, I'm looking forward to this chat.
And I said, fucking bed's a bit stinky, And so we've got one of those. We've got one of those like rug doctors, like but not as big as a rug doctor, right? It's called a spot cleaner.
Have you got one at home?
So,
your own one?
Yeah.
I'm actually really fascinated by this topic because I want to do that with my couches. So tell me more about the machine. What's that? Yeah, exactly. So how much does this machine cost?
I was only like a couple of $100, I think.
Oh yeah, cool.
Yeah, fucking brilliant.
It's like a little mini rug doctor, eh? It just sucks. It pushes water in and then sucks it back out, basically, eh?
Yeah. Because we've got like blonde carpet or whatever, and a 3-year-old that loves throwing Milo on it and shit. So fucking Marmite. And so anyway, so I said to stuff, well, why don't you give the old bed a spot clean? And like,
oh yeah, ordering the missus round, eh?
Poor old Soph sucked out 6 years worth of farts, eh?
Oh.
On my side of the bed, and it was just like brown stained water, eh?
Oh, what was your side of the
and
bed?
My side of the bed was just fucking haggard. Her side of the bed was just prim and proper, eh? big boil up moldy farts right into the fucking fabric, eh?
Is it Mary sleeping on that side of the bed, isn't it now? Oh no. So where do you buy these things from, bro?
Shop. So you go to the shop, right? Then you go, excuse me,
which
could I
shop?
please have a spot cleaner?
Which okay, just like an appliance shop, like Noel Leeming or Swiss City or whatever.
Yeah. Fuck. Go to Noel Leeming in town there, mate. Toronto Street.
Spot cleans. Yeah, I need to get one because my sweaty head has decided to sweat out my couches, and I'd hate to know how old. Well, my mattress is probably due for a. Let's just say my mattress has seen some stuff, mate. Let's just say there's been a great flood on my mattress. There's been a few great floods. You know what I'm talking about. There's been a couple of floods. There's been a couple of them.
Just sad, lonely nights.
Oh. Me crying into the mattress. Oh, that's good.
I actually noticed it on your couch arm the other day.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, it's a bit filmy here. It's a bit filmy.
You feel dirty when you sit down. You're like, oh.
Mate, I'll bring it over. When I come over next time, I'll bring it over. You give it a fucking whirl.
Oh, not that fucking tight. I should probably just get one. It'd be a good investment, I reckon, eh?
Oh, yeah. They are brilliant, dude. Yeah. They're fucking fantastic.
There you go. That's number one recommendation. Oh, there's been a few recos today. Definitely
spot cleaner.
Definitely watch Ancient Apocalypse on Netflix. Don't shit in your wetsuit.
Or on your wetty.
Or on your wetty.
On your wetty. Yeah.
Have a go at number 3s in the surf if you feel like that.
Hey mate, Boydo's bloody Wi-Fi cuts out every now and again. Fucking tell Boydo.
Oh, does it? Hopefully it's not too chippy with the
it's just every now and again. Might not come through on the recording. I don't know. Well, okay. So here's a couple. So my last thing here is I had Joel Dixon and Sammy around for UFC 281. A fantastic afternoon. I put on the buffalo wings and everything for the boys and condiments.
Who's
and
Bummo?
Nuts and Bummo was out of town.
Oh, Bummo.
And nuts and snacks and stuff.
Oh, you're a good host.
I was quite, I had my whole little man cave set up for everyone.
Nice.
I sent you a video of my setup, and the first thing you did was point out how small my screen was.
And it was tiny. It was like a laptop screen almost.
And then you got me really self-conscious about when they came around.
Yeah, true.
So I apologized to the guys when they got here and said, sorry, the screen's so small.
Sorry. It's just classic me, just pointing out the obvious. But a good day was had by all, and what an interesting array of fights on display.
Yeah. I was fucking bummed, and I still am, and it had a little bit to do with my mental health score when Izzy got TKO'd.
Yeah, we're going straight to the top fight.
Yeah. I was so bummed, dude. Like me and Joel had the sickest arvo, drinking beers, chatting, eating wings.
There were some great fights leading up to
great fights. Michael Chandler, Poirier.
Amazing.
Absolute bloodbath. Dan Hooker had an epic dominant win. Just fucking took that guy to school.
Carlos Alberg kicked things right off with a beautiful first round win.
I got to tell you that Izzy fight was pretty epic. It was technical and it was a little bit boring in places, but Izzy came to fucking fight. And if he had had another 5 seconds or even 10 seconds, maybe 10 or 5 seconds
round one.
in that first round, it was over.
Because
Izzy was throwing more than any other fight he's had in the last like 4 or 5 fights. He was throwing proper.
Yeah, he was.
You know, he cracked him quite a few times.
Yeah, I kind of feel my thoughts are, I agree with the round one thing, but hey, that's can't do much about that. But I've talked to you about this before, and that's, he sort of coasted because he knew he was up 3-1 going into the fifth, and he thought, right, one more round, play it a little bit safe, and he was obvious that's what he was doing. I felt like he was.
You're right. Sorry. He was not playing it safe. He was fighting. He was being egotistical, and he put himself in the worst position, which was on the fence, because he thought he could play with the guy on the fence. Like if you're playing it safe, you got to be in the center of the ring, keeping him at distance or grappling him up against the fence or clinching. He was not playing it safe. He fought with his ego, and he's even like admitted to it. Like him and his coach have said, "Yeah, I fucked up real bad,"
Oh, can you show me the quote where he said he was his ego? Did he say it was his ego? Don't think I've heard him say that.
I don't think I might have put words in his mouth with the ego, but he did say, "I fucked up.
Yes,
I shouldn't have been on the fence."
And I disagree with you
too.
Yeah, I think he was. I think he should have had a different strategy in that fifth round. I reckon he should have gone out guns blazing and fucking tried to knock him out or something, because like he's just, I don't think you shouldn't be spending as much time in the ring with that guy as possible. And in that fifth round, because you look back at the earlier fights, it was almost a carbon copy of that fight that they had in kickboxing, where Izzy rocked him, and he fucked him up, and then Pereira gets his bloody his bell rung, and then he comes back with a vengeance. So yeah, that's just my takeaway. We don't have to agree, bro. That's what's great.
No, I'm probably not going to agree with you. I think that he knew he was he was up 3 rounds to 1, and he just made a fucking dumb egotistical error or standing up on the fence against him. Like he made that choice to like try and counter him while he was on the fence, and I actually don't think he played it safe. I think he should have played it safe, and he wasn't playing it safe enough, because I don't think after round 1 that he was going to knock him out. The guy's so big. Like,
I think he was. I think he was on his way to knocking him out into that round 1. I'm just this is an interesting little wee thing. It was crazy how Pereira bulked up so much after the weight cut, eh? It's pretty odd. Like, fuck. And our old friend Chris Hubbard over here, this is an article that I'm looking at about Rogan talking about Pereira and how it's bullshit, how they have this weight cut and then they have all this time to just fucking bulk out. Perfect solution here from little dwarven friend Chris Hubbard. The weigh-in should be on the day of the fight. Why not? If this is your true if this is your true weight class, right?
Yeah.
You shouldn't really have to shred weight, right? You should be, you cut weight to be lean and mean, but you shouldn't have to go to the extremes that some of our fighters do, like Pereira, who I think he was down to like the last 5 minutes of weigh-in, still cutting weight for this fight.
Yeah.
So I totally agree with Rogan, and I totally agree with Hubbard. I don't think these delays between weight cutting and actually fighting should be a thing.
Yeah, well, but the whole system is that they deplete themselves so much that if they fight on the day of the weigh-in, a lot of them would die. They're that dehydrated.
Yeah.
They're that fucking dehydrated, and that's just the system. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying they're that dehydrated that some of them would fucking die. Like Khabib nearly died from weight cutting.
Yeah, but then
when he was meant to fight Tony Ferguson.
But then wouldn't you think
because he's so big?
wouldn't you think that he should be in a bigger weight class then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's another thing about Alex Pereira, that he won't actually get a license to fight at middleweight in some states in the US because he's too big. So they've got rehydration rules. So like you weigh in at 185, and then if you go over a certain weight, and I think it's like 220 pounds after that, you're not allowed to fight at middleweight because you're too big. So
Shit.
yeah, so there's actually is some that's from Morning Combat.
Oh, he'd just have to monitor that. He could get away with that. Hey, if you can cut to 185, you don't have to blow out too bad, do you?
Well, he obviously does extreme weight cutting because like he would come in at probably like 220 pounds and then cut right down to 185. So he's cutting like nearly 10 kgs overnight, which is insanity.
It's fucked.
That's near death. That's
It's
near
not
death.
good. It's not good.
The guy's a fucking. If you go back, you watch him standing there in the ring before the fight starts, and he's just standing still like Frankenstein, just standing there staring at Izzy, but doesn't move a muscle.
Focus.
He's not scared of Izzy, you know.
I focus, bro. I focus, yeah.
I'm an Amazonian warrior.
I come to fight. I already beat him
Anyways,
twice.
it was a shame, but it's going to be a great rematch. And I love how Izzy took the loss. It was really cool. He did a lot of podcasts after it. He just owned it.
Yeah.
Said, fucked up. You know, he's got bragging rights. It's going to be a really good rematch. And then he goes, I don't give a fuck if he's got the belt or not. He's next. That's the coolest thing. He doesn't even care if he's got the belt. He's just like, I don't care if he's got the belt or not.
Yeah.
He's next, you know? And I think he will get him this time, like properly. I don't think he'll finish him. I just don't think he can finish him. Like he looked so much bigger than Izzy in the ring. It was just so noticeable.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was nuts.
Crazy.
It was nuts.
And yeah. And I've been shadow banned on my Call of Duty account, Giles.
Why?
Don't know.
Oh.
So shadow ban is when you can actually go into the game and still play it, but it takes forever to get a game. And like, so I went into some website today to try to find out what's going on. I was like, your account is under review. I was like, what the
Probably because you're a bit of an asshole when you game with people. Do you reckon that might have something to do with it? That you just like, people have probably just reported you and like, this guy's an actual tool who actually wants to play with this guy. So do you reckon that might have something to do with it?
Well, there was a little bit of arguing back and forth with my main gaming crew today while I got shadow banned. Yeah. But yeah.
Yeah, I don't like playing with you, mate, to be honest, eh?
Oh, you just can't keep up, mate.
No, you have a different personality in the gaming realm. You're actually a dick. Just being honest. You're a bit of a dick in the gaming world. And yeah, your skill level's more than me, but doesn't mean you can be an asshole about it. Hey,
I'm sorry.
Just take that feedback and learn and grow from it.
I've just got no patience for people who suck at gaming, eh?
Oh, I don't suck, but I'm not as good as you at those games.
I wonder what game you'd beat me at, eh?
Oh, it'd be quite a lot actually. All of the fighting games I'd beat you at.
Really?
Yep. Especially the ones in 1984.
You'd fuck. Actually, yeah. You and Street Fighter. Wow.
Any of those ones, like I'd smash you in Mortal Kombat. I'd smash you in all of them.
Yeah. You're insanely good at those old arcade games on the actual arcade machines. I remember we played that night at the Golds on the old arcade, and you were just incredible at it. Holy fuck.
I clocked a lot of time with those motherfuckers.
I was angry, actually. I went home and I was angry.
I reckon I could piece you up on those big like strategy open world, when you're looking down, top down. You got your armies or your little your crew. I reckon I'd be pretty good. I reckon I'd smash you in that.
I think we might have to have a go at that.
Yeah, cool. I Alrighty, mate. Well, let's crack on, eh? Nice, good to see you, mate. Good chat, and I'll come and grab that GoPro off you next week before I fly out.
Yeah, and we're going to have a
Tuesday
cast in person when you get back from Aussie. You're going to stay the night. Was that the deal?
Yeah, I'll stay the night on the Sunday night. That's okay.
Yeah, and we'll see if we can get a guest possibly.
Oh, imagine if we get someone like Wellesley or Bromley or Jole or anyone.
Well, you're the booking agent, mate.
Oh, okay. It's my job. Sorry, I keep forgetting. Okay. All right. See what I can do.
See what you can do, mate.
All right. Hey, thanks
All
for
right.
listening. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Goodbye, people.
Fu Man Swoo is our name, but Hodjo wants to change it. Let us know what you think about that.
What do you think? Yeah, two fat guys in a shory.
Or
short,
keep it.
two fat guys. Or keep Fu Man Swoo. Or two fat guys in a shory. Because I've got a really good idea for a new profile art piece for our account. If we did change it to two fat guys in a shory.
Shout out to all our Patreon listeners. Thanks for giving us money. No, we haven't got Patreon. I'm just joking.
We've got 17 more episodes before Patreon, right?
Yes, once we hit 50, because we'll give you 50 for free, all right? And then we'll still give it to you for free afterwards. But if you want to donate, then that'd be cool.
Why are we waiting until 50?
Because it's a nice number.
Can I just bring something up before we finish here?
Yeah, sure. Go for it. What's up?
So the New Zealand Surf Windows coffee table book just came out.
Yes.
This week, and Joel's received his copy.
Yes. I paid for a copy.
From Warren Hawke.
No, I paid for the copy. Yes, wasn't a gift. Yeah.
Paid for it.
Yeah.
And it sort of comes back to your personality. It really fucking grates me, eh?
But do you want to do a bit of context? Like, who's Warren Hawke? For some people might not know.
Warren Hawke's a bit of a legendary photographer that's been around since the the 60s,
70s?
Yeah. Canterbury photographer. He's got some legendary photos of all the spots around the South Island, and he's a historian of surf.
Yeah, he goes around all over all over New Zealand. Yeah.
So the couple of years ago, when me and Joel scored the fucking 3 days of incredible wave trap for 3 days in a row,
that we've never talked about before in this podcast.
Never talked about that. Warren sat across the river on the Blaketown side and just spent the 3 days shooting us. And I might chuck that one up on thing actually.
Mm-hmm.
Might as well do that. And yeah, Warren spent 3 days shooting us, and he told me and Joel's that he would put some wave trap photos in
his next little coffee table book.
Yeah, his new coffee table book. And he said to me, I'll probably put this shot of you and I'll put it up. Hang on.
And so the book's called Surf Windows.
I think it was New Zealand Surf Windows, wasn't it?
Oh, maybe. Sorry. Yeah, I don't know. But it's similar. And funnily enough, that day, me and Hodjo were both riding red boards, both wearing black hoods, both fat. Oh, that's me, mate. That's me. That is
Warren
such a cool photo.
Yeah, that's
such a cool photo.
Warren sent that to Joel's, thinking that was him. I don't think Warren listens to this, and maybe people do that know Warren.
Warren wouldn't give a shit. But what were you saying before about what fucks you off about my personality?
Well, so what really fucking grates me about your personality is because I thought, like, Warren had told me this shot might be in the new book, so I was kind of pumped, like, oh, that'd be sick.
And I was pumping you up too. I was like, yeah, man, it's gonna be cool.
You were pumping me up, and so you sent me a photo a few days ago of the book on your table.
That's right.
Right? So then I rang you up. I was like, "Oh, bro, which wave trap shots are in there?"
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't opened it yet. Oh, okay. Well, can you flick through to the wave trap one and just tell me like what shots are in there? Nah, I've got to do that later on tonight, eh? Like, I'm just going to savor it. I'm just going to savor it. Okay. So this is in the morning when I ring him. So then I ring him at night. And I fucking ring him that night, or I text him. What's happened? Oh, I haven't got to those pages yet. I was getting so eager. I was getting so
Yeah, you
over it.
were. But it wasn't intentional.
And
I'm just
then-
weird like that.
And then I got a text at like 6 in the morning. No, you didn't make it, mate.
So insensitive too. Oh, it's rough, eh?
And I just
No,
said,
what
like,
I say?
a
Sorry, I
thumbs
said
up.
sorry. I said sorry, mate. You didn't make the cut. Oh shit!
This is
I'm
so
sorry, mate.
shit.
I know that's a bummer. I
But
was
you
really...
just like you savor things to the nth degree where I want to strangle you.
I know. Well, maybe we should have a spar and a jiu-jitsu match, and you can attempt to strangle me one day.
Well, Jade Goldie fucked me up in a wrestling match, so I don't think I'd do very well actually.
He's a strong man. He's a very strong little man. He's got a lot of power. I'd love to wrestle him though one day, but I'm scared that he would snap my neck in half. When you actually got to the chokehold, he wouldn't know how to just stop. It would go all the way
Get wild.
it would go all the way to snap. And then old Joel's in a fucking one of those bloody permanent beds, getting spoon fed gruel.
Keep going there because I want to find that DK shot of you that did make the cut just before we clock off here.
Oh, people have seen that before, but hey, who am I to
Put it up, mate.
stop?
Talking about it.
My ego will love it. It'll get a big fat stiffy. It'll get a
Well,
big
I saw that.
old
I had
stiffy.
the best. I had the best seat in the house.
Yeah, that shot did make a whole page in the book, which is cool. And so you did make it. You are in the book.
I don't actually care that I didn't make it. I was just interested if I
You
did.
are in the book, mate.
Can I actually say you really post not enough good action stuff on your Insta? Your
This is
Insta's
true.
shit.
I-
You know?
I'm sort of a less is more kind of guy. I want the viewers and all my fans around the world to just joking to shut up. I'll shut up now. You get the chat off. Get the comments off.
I can't, mate. It's on Instagram.
Oh, that's weird.
That's such a good shot.
Yeah, that one's all right.
Oh,
We don't need to see this weird chili
this is
back
one of
foot.
you. Yeah.
Thanks, mate.
Uh,
Hey, so you
you
did
put up
make
a
the
new shot
cut.
today.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I did put. Thanks for sharing that.
Hmm.
Dragon whips its tail.
Probably slid out after that, eh?
Nah, mate, landed that. It's in the vid. All right. Nice to see you, friend, and I'll see you next week. I'm gonna drive over on Tuesday and stay the night in Christchurch. Hang out with my daughter, but I'll come around and grab your GoPro if that's okay. And yeah. Imagine how cool it would be if we get 3 guests within 7 days.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Paulus, Franco, and Wellesley. That would be it. Let's just quit the podcast after that. Done. It's done.
Yeah, that'd be pretty phenomenal. Do you want to hit up Wellesley for next Sunday at my? Oh, I got to talk to you offline about that.
Okay. All right. But
You're
also,
fine,
BMac is keen to come back on.
Is he?
So yeah, so round 2. We'll do that before the end of the year, eh? I've been meaning to tell you for ages.
I want to do Sam Peters.
Yeah, me too. But how do we? He's on a weird time zone and he's all over the planet.
Just pull a sickie, Sam Peters. Kids bloody can't be taught all day. He's still teaching.
I guess so. What about on the weekends?
Yeah, let's do it.
Anyway, righto. See you later, guys and girls. Peace out.
See you, mate.
Boo, man, Swoo. Hey.
Hey.
Boo, man, Swoo. Hey.